A person that I have chosen to evaluate the ideas of regarding the human condition from this semester is John Milton in his Paradise Lost. To describe my views of the human condition, I did a drawing and wrote a short song, which will be later in this video. The topic of the human condition, well, in my personal opinion, it is the basis for how I see the human condition and is the foundation that builds upon what the human condition is supposed to be and how that relates to how I interact with the world. How has my thinking of the human condition changed relating to the work we've done in this class? Well, this class has helped me be able to see that there are lots of different perspectives on the human condition and that not everybody believes the same thing. Like in Milton's Paradise Lost, his view is from the perspective of demons, which makes the view of the human condition very negative and dim and depressing, which, while I agree with some of Milton's points about the depravity of the human condition, I don't agree that it's all dim and not positive. There are so many beautiful things relating to the human condition. Of course, with Milton's Paradise Lost being written from the negative perspective of things, you probably would expect it to be much more negative than directly from the Bible, which does make sense. I disagree with Milton in that all of the world is not just chaos and negativity and ugliness and all that. There are so many beautiful things too. And just because something bad happened and we were separated from God at one point, God chose to redeem us through Jesus and rescue us from that deplorable, sad state of the human condition that is described so well in Paradise Lost. I agree with Milton in that we live in a fallen world, which causes a lot of chaos and strife and death and grief and negative ugliness, which is absolutely not fun. So I believe that there are 3 key factors that influence the human condition today. And I made a graphic explaining those. The first factor that I think influences the human condition is God's design. It's how the world was supposed to be originally set up. Humanity was living in paradise. But then sin happened. And now we live in a broken, fallen world. But because of God's grace, He offers us redemption in Jesus. And because of that redemption, if we choose to believe and follow Jesus, we're reunited with the goodness of God's design. Now we have the song about the human condition. It's a quick one, but a good one. And this explains how I see humanity and what the human condition is like for me. The human condition, what does this mean to me? It's what we see, the flowers, birds, bees, and the trees. It's how we live, who we choose to be. Being human means many things to me. Life was breezy for Adam and Eve. Now death and unrest is the main theme. In the eyes of the world, self reigns supreme. But to me, Jesus is the only King. The human condition, what does this mean to me? In a world full of despair, God chose not to leave me there. The grace of God, so unfair, His burden was ours to bear. In hell I'd burn, if it weren't for grace I could never earn. The human condition depends on your position, worldly superstition or gospel tradition. It's up to you who to be. Personally, I thank God for saving me. As follows are some notable quotes from chapters 1, 2, 4, and 9 of John Milton's Paradise Lost that illustrate that Milton's views lean more toward the negative, especially being from the perspective of the negative side of eternity. Our stronger, some worse way his wrath may find to our destruction. If there be in hell fear to be worse destroyed, what can be worse than to dwell here, driven out from bliss, condemned in this abhorred deep to utter woe, where pain of unextinguishable fire must exercise us without hope of end? Me miserable, which way shall I fly? Infinite wrath and infinite despair. Which way I fly is hell, myself am hell, and in the lowest deep a lower deep, still threatening to devour me, opens wide. Oh, how unlike the place from whence they fell! Will envy whom the highest place exposes, foremost to stand against the thunderer's aim, your bulwark, and condemns to greatest share of endless pain, where there is then no good for which to strive, no strife can grow up there from faction, for none sure will claim in hell precedence, none whose portion is so small of present pain